I've come into the Sutherland Engineering and EnKlein cable room here at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest, and here are the geniuses behind this room. Starting over on my left, please introduce yourself.
Dave Kleinbeck, EnKlein.
And in the middle,
Ron Sutherland.
and over to my right.
Tom Kleinbeck, EnKlein.
How are you guys doing today?
Fine, thank
Wonderful.
I'm going to ask you guys to elect a spokesperson to tell us what's going on in the system here today.
Dave.
Dave.
Okay. See how this works?
I know how this works.
Doggone it. I'll do you justice.
Okay, here we go.
We'll start at the front end.
Okay.
And this is the Merrill Williams 101.2 by George Merrill. We actually got this last week. We're very excited about it. Triplanar arm with a Delos cartridge.
Looking good.
And what's really cool is Ron Sutherland, his brand new Spatial Edition Phono stage.
Would you come in over and tell us about this? Here we go. Come on in.
I'd like to talk about my new Spatial Edition Phono preamp. It's my new flagship project. And its background is that I have a history of, solid engineering, no frills, down to business, simple signal path, and consequently I've said no to a lot of things. I've said no to balanced connections. I've said no to, you have to take the cover off to change things. I'm not going to sacrifice performance for convenience. I kind of said no for discipline. So as an experiment, at Dave's encouragement, I said, what if I say yes? Just to open up my possibilities and to expand my mind. Because if you say no all the time, there's a lid on what you can do. And so, with Dave's encouragement, he said, he loves to tell me what to do. Why don't you use silver wire? You need to use these silver connectors. And he was pushing me in a direction that I wouldn't normally go. But I got tired fighting with him about it. That's where the
I like Dave's thinking. I like silver wire.
That's where the yes attitude. And it was so much fun because it opened up my mind to new possibilities. And so I just made a leap for it, and without necessarily knowing what the results would be. And sure enough, there was a performance big increment.
Now, coming into the room, I saw the circuit board. It was a glass circuit board with raised components on it. Is that part of the?
Yeah.
Yeah. Please show that to us.
It's also part of the name. The Spatial Edition, of course, there's a sonic notion about that, but the construction is also spatial. Do you have enough light for this?
Yeah,
you doing
we're
okay?
fine. Yeah.
Well, it's constructed three-dimensionally. There's a solid copper ground plane, and then the components are hand soldered with solid silver wire on Teflon standoffs. So all the signal path is off the copper.
Yeah, I like that. I like the standoffs. You can see it right there, plain as day.
Yep. There is no signal paths in the copper. So we can call this a copper ground plane or circuit board. I'm going to call it the copper ground plane because it's a sheet of copper. And then on the bottom are sheets of copper for the power supply rails. Those two are stitched together with all of these capacitors, which makes the shortest, lowest impedance stitch between the two. So this is rock solid ground and power. And the other that's the foundation for the circuit. I use chips. I pursue musicality with chips. A lot of people don't. I'm a bit unusual about that, but I do it anyway. And the silver wire goes into the chips directly. There are no sockets. So it's hand-wired silver wire, dot. It's got a step-up transformer here, so I can have single-ended or balanced inputs with no complexity. There's no cost to that as for complexity. It's a single-ended circuit path because I pursue purity through simplicity. It's got shooting out to the RCA jack. That's a plus phase for the XLR. I generate the -1 signal with this op amp, no OPA 627, $25 op amp. So we have the direct connection and we have the plus and minus for the XLR. So I was able to say yes to that. And this power supply is all filtering for isolation from the AC power line. So this relay board is for selecting loading resistors. This relay board is for selecting gain, and this board is a shield. So when that selected value shoots straight down into the circuit. So by going out in space, building it in space, I can keep everything minimally and quite tidy.
You can see here when he says space, it's spaced right off of the board.
Yeah.
Yep.
So by letting the construction grow in 3 dimensions, I can express some features without a doubt.
That's great. Now there's 2 of those in the unit, correct?
Yes.
That's right, because we have a right and a left channel.
Yeah. Yes. And then there are cord transformers in the middle,
Okay.
all shielded in 12-gauge steel, MDF case with walnut veneer on it, front panel, and like I've been saying no to options. Well, this is a way to say yes. 4 buttons here. These 2 buttons select a parameter list, and these change the parameters. Am I going too long?
So you can set gain here. Can you set?
You can do everything.
You can set it all here.
The loading is 150.
I like that, yeah.
There's the gain.
How much gain can you do? What's the ultimate gain?
So here's how
67 dB.
it goes up in 3 dB jumps.
73 is the most.
76.
76. That's great.
It's way up there.
They'll take care of almost every cartridge.
It's there.
Yeah.
And the noise is quite low because they got 20 dB in the step-up transformer. So it's,
That's right.
So
Yeah,
that's
look at
not
that, that's huge.
not a problem. And then for loading options, we can bump that from 10 ohms to 1270 ohms in 10 ohm increments. So here we go, 10 ohms. So you can really split hairs on that.
Well, you really can. Look at that.
And it's like, I didn't quite expect that to amount to much, but it can be quite useful.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, the proof is going to be in the listing, which we'll do in a couple minutes here. If you
what-
could
what-
give me one more highlight here.
Okay, sure. Yeah, right. I get your drift. Okay, red LED.
Okay.
Maybe you don't like red. What color do you like?
Okay. I want pink.
Oh, you would.
I would like blue, please.
Okay, that's the right question. That's
That's the right answer.
I'll keep asking until I get the right answer. We turn the red off. We turn the blue on. So you can adjust the color.
Adjust
that
the
you
color
want.
and intensity like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's the green. Turn blue off. And you can mix them or whatever's. Okay.
Great. And what speakers are we using here in the demonstration today?
You know what? I'm gonna pass it on over.
You're gonna pass it?
I'm
Okay.
gonna pass it. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you very much.
I'll run real quick.
And back to Dave Kleinbeck. What speakers are these?
Hi, Peter. These are the Thrax Audio Lyra speakers. Brand new. This is the North American debut.
Hey, cool.
I can't tell you a lot of details about the composition, except it's a compression horn driver and some type of sandwich driver on the midwoofer.
Yeah, you can kind of see it there.
Made out of solid block of aluminum.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like aluminum. It looks like I'll lose my knuckle on that.
Yeah. Price range to be determined right at around $20K.
Okay.
Fantastic stuff.
Great. And then the rest of the system here?
This is Sutherland Electronics.
Yep.
Is N1.
Yep.
Preamp.
Yep.
His amplifiers are monoblocks. And we have a Thrax DAC at the very bottom, which this is an analog room, so it's there in case something happens. But
Understood.
the cabling is EnKlein Prairie Fire 2, which is based on our David Super cable that's solid silver. This is a more consumer friendly, if you can quote that, at $1,700, but a copper based version of that. Same family characteristics we hope that people will enjoy.
Speed, openness, and holographic sound.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much. Dave Kleinbeck from EnKlein, and we're going to sit down and do a little bit of listening here on the Merrill Williams table. And I want to thank everybody in the room. If you got all guys come over.
Okay.
Tom, Dave,
We're really got a plan on it.
Tom.
So,
I'd like to thank everybody in the room for putting together such a world-class system with outstanding engineering from 3 of the top minds in the industry. Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
thank
Peter.
you, Peter.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to set the levels. Oh, beautiful, beautiful sound. Holographic.